సమయపూర మారియమ్మ నీ కటలికి వారుమమ్మ
संगनी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ आओ संगनी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ महाराज आओ मेरे स्वामी आओ महाराज आओ मेरे स्वामी और पूजा करो बाबा आओ मेरे संगनी बाबा आओ संगनी बाबा आओ आओ ये संगनी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आसन पैसाओ बाबा पैसा चलाओ हल्दी टिकाओ और सिंदूर टिकाओ आसन पैसाओ बाबा पैसा चलाओ हल्दी टिकाओ और सिंदूर टिकाओ फूल चढ़ाओ मेरे बाबा है आओ आओ संगनी बाबा आओ संगनी बाबा आओ आओ ये संगनी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा आओ मेरे धी बाबा
Sitaram Om Shakti. This is Shakti Fridays with Justin D. Anthony. I want to say it is a pleasure and honor to have you locked on as we play the songs of the Divine Devi. And we bring you teachings of the Divine Devi on this very auspicious Friday morning. On today's Shakti Fridays, we'll be focusing our discourse on the Amavasya. While many people speak about the spiritual benefits of worship on the full moon, and we are very much aware of the benefits of full moon. We are quite aware of full moon puja and etc. There is little that is said about the importance of the Amavasya. What is it all about? What are the risks and dangers of the Amavasya? As a devotee, as a Hindu, what should one do on the Amavasya? So in this program, we will explore all these topics for you to gain a full, thorough understanding of the Amavasya. I want to begin in the first place by saying Sitaram and Om Shakti to Devika Mahabir. I want to say Sitaram and Om Shakti to Yash Pasad. I want to say Sitaram and Om Shakti to Debbie Algu. I want to say Sitaram to Christina Prashad, Aaron Stephen. I want to say Sitaram and good morning to Shani Beer. I want to say Sitaram to Savitri Balgobin. I also wish to take this opportunity to extend greetings and say pranam to all the devotees of the Sri Mahakali Durga Mandir, located at 9266 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village, New York. In particular, I want to extend greetings to Bujeri Kabardas G2 and Grandma Rose. Do me one favor in the first place. Share this link across your Facebook as we focus our discourse on the risks and the spiritual benefits of the Amavasya. I want to say pranam to Usha Sicharan, Nalini H. I want to say good morning and pranam to Radha Totaram, Stephanie and family, Monica Rupnarayan. I want to say pranam to Monica Narayan. I want to say pranam to Manisha. I want to take this opportunity as well to just say, broadly speaking, pranam and blessings of the Divine Devi to all those watching in Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, the various Caribbean islands. I want to say pranam and good morning to all those watching in the United States of America, Canada, the Mauritius, South Africa, and elsewhere. Wherever you're locked in from, I want to say, may the Divine Devi shower her grace on you and your family. As we begin our discourse for today, speaking about the Amavasya, as we know, there are different formations of the moon. And all of the various formations of the moon carry certain special spiritual benefits or effects. The full moon is one of them, which is generally associated with auspiciousness. And that is why many of us often do full moon puja. But it is rarely ever spoken. What are the benefits? What is the significance? Or indeed, what is the Amavasya all about? Often, Hindus neglect or do not have an understanding of the Amavasya. And indeed, the few that have an understanding of the Amavasya, they have a flawed understanding. But to begin our discourse for today, the Amavasya is the no moon day. That is, there is no moonlight on the Amavasya night. And the Amavasya is the first quarter of the lunar month. To put it simply, the Amavasya is a day of great spiritual significance because it is a day for the worship of the dead ancestors. It is a day to perform good, any sort of good action. It is very, very favorable for the devotee to perform it on the Amavasya, which includes giving charity, donating food, feeding people. So it is a day for the devotee, for the individual to carry out good actions and charitable acts. When it comes to the worship of the ancestors on the Amavasya, some devotees offer tarpan. Other devotees will cook vegetarian meals and they will make offerings to their ancestors, seeking their blessings, blessings of guidance, blessings to help them with the various afflictions or calamities in their life at present. So to summarize things, the Amavasya is the day or the formation of the moon where Hindu devotees are supposed to do worship of their ancestors via tarpan, via charitable acts and feeding the poor, donating food, making donations, and of course fasting. But how should you fast for the Amavasya? What is the proper procedure, or what is traditionally done in terms of the fasting for the Amavasya? Well, when it comes to the Amavasya, you find two interpretations of fasting. One is, on the day of the Amavasya, the devotee will not consume any food at all. That is, they will fast in the truest sense of that word. They won't consume anything. Or alternatively, the devotee will wake up. They'll consume a bit of water, they'll consume a bit of fruits, and only in the evening will they consume a bit of sweet rice. So those are two traditional ways of fasting is done as it relates to the Amavasya. Those are the two accepted and traditional ways of fasting for the Amavasya. However, not everyone can perform such a fast. And we must explain that. Not everyone can do such a fast. Not everyone's health would permit them to do such a fast. So to whatever extent your health would permit, fast. Fast in the way that is appropriate considering your own situation. If you're not able to go without food for that day, consume food. But instead only consume vegetarian dishes or vegan dishes. Whatever way your health would permit, fast in that way. And do your various offerings as it relates to the ancestors, such as tarpan, such as, you cook vegetarian meals and you offer them to the ancestors, or you choose to carry out charitable acts. Choose to feed orphanages, you choose to, buy a little grocery for someone who is in need, anything of that nature. When done with the fasting, the blessings of the ancestors will be with you. I want to say Pranama good morning to Shelly Pasad. I want to say Pranama good morning to Vidya Jaggernaut. I want to say Pranama good morning to Nandi Singh and family from Florida.
I pray to Lord Rama and I pray to Lord Krishna. I pray to Mariamma, the universal mom. I pray to Lord Rama and I pray to Lord Krishna. I pray to Mariamma, the universal mom. So give me the courage to chant it again. I come into this temple and chanting your name. So give me the courage to chant it again. I pray to Lord Rama and I pray to Lord Krishna. I pray to Mariamma, the universal mom. I come to you, O Mother, with tears in my eyes. I come to you, Mother, because I'm your child. I come to you, O Mother, with tears in my eyes. I come to you, O Mother, because I'm your child. I pray to Lord Rama and I pray to Lord Krishna. I pray to Mariamma, the universal mom.
சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ மாயே மகுமாரியே மணி மந்திர சேகரியே ஐமையானவளே அடித்து தெரியாது மாறி தயவல்லாவியே மகராஜி காருமமா மாயன் சகோதரியே மாறி முட்டு வருமமா சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ திக்கேலம் போதமம்மா எக்கால தினியார் திக்கேலம் என்று சக்தி நாரணா தங்கே அம்மா நல்ல முகுமாரியாரே நாககனி தாயாரே சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ துளகாலத்திலே எல்லாம் குளகாடு பெண் இருந்து துளகாலத்திலே விட்டு துரதறிய வாரும் அம்மா மலையாள தேசம் எல்லாம் விளையாடு பெண் இருந்து மலையாள தேசம் விட்டு வாரும் அம்மா இந்த மோகம் சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ சரணம் சரணம் அம்மா தாயே எங்க மகமாயி வரும் அம்மா எப்போ నరసింహని దివ్య నామ మంత్రము చేత
I want to say good morning and pranam to Sandra Mahadeo. I want to say pranam and good morning to Bidya Rampal. Additionally, I would like to say pranam to Arjun. So as we continue onwards with our discussion about the Amavasya, we have spoken about the benefits of worship of the Amavasya. That how the ancestors bless us during this particular formation of the moon. But what are the risks and what are the dangers associated with the Amavasya? The Amavasya, during the Amavasya, where there is no moonlight, where you have that darkness, it is believed that the energy, negative energies, negative entities such as spirits and ghosts, their energies are at a heightened level. Ghosts and spirits roam around during this time. That is why many make it a point, or some, I should say more correctly, make it a point to stay at home or not go out very late in the evening. Because the energies, these negative entities such as spirits and ghosts, their energies are heightened on that day. Indeed, some individuals will have that sense and have that awareness. Because on that day of the Amavasya, or during the period of the Amavasya, they will feel off. Some people who have more levels of consciousness or higher levels of spirituality, they will feel a little off. The energy will feel a little off. Because these negative entities and all inauspicious forces, their powers, their energies are at a higher level. Now it comes to the risk and the dangers part. On the day of the Amavasya, some people perform inauspicious acts of spirituality. That is, they perform black magic. That is, they call upon the energies of spirits to cause harm and to cause hindrance in the life of someone else. To put it very simply, it is a day as well that many people like to go work obya, to use our own terminology. So this is the risk. This is the danger on this day of the Amavasya, during this formation of the Amavasya. Negative energies are at its highest level. And many people perform acts of wickedness, using entities, using certain, spiritual works to hurt someone. But what should you do for your protection on the Amavasya? Certainly, as I've spoken about, the importance of the Amavasya is to do worship of your ancestors, to do a little tarpan, make a little vegetarian food for your ancestors. But what do you do as a devotee for your own protection during the Amavasya? With all these negative entities, energies at a higher level, with people performing acts of wickedness via, spirits and etc. How do you protect yourself as a devotee? Well, traditionally, on the day of the Amavasya, we perform worship and we perform offerings as it relates to Sangali Karupan, or Sangani Baba, as some say. On the day of the Amavasya, Sangali Karupan is worship to protect the devotee and to protect the devotee's family from evil energies. Because as you are aware of, and as I've spoken about many times, he is the protector of the individual. He safeguards the individual from evil and inauspicious forces. So this is one remedy. When the Amavasya comes, to protect yourself and to protect your family, do the worship of Sangali Karupan Swami. Traditionally, that's how people did worship. Secondly, as we are aware of, Lord Shiva is the controller of all spirits. Lord Shiva may be worshipped on the Amavasya as well for protection from negative forces. Because remember, Lord Shiva is the controller of all these different and various entities. So Lord Shiva may be worshipped. And by that same token, we can expand it to say that Kal Bhairav could be worshipped as well, because he also is in charge of the domain of protecting the individual from spirits, Bhut and Pisach and all of these entities. Thirdly, Hanuman may be worshipped as well. So let me summarize this point. There is a component of the Amavasya where the devotee must do the worship of the ancestors, and they will gain the benefits and the blessings of their ancestors. But there is also an aspect of worship as it relates to protection of the individual. Because many people out there on the Amavasya, they are using the Amavasya for the purposes of doing inauspicious and acts of wickedness to hinder someone else. And this is the reality. What I'm speaking about today is just simply the world that we live in today. We live in a world today where when you're climbing up the ladder of success, there is often someone waiting right there, waiting to pull you down. We live in a world today where a friend or a family before your face will speak so well with you, will speak so nice to you. They will speak in such a manner. You wonder if they're speaking with sugar. But behind your back, they carry envy in relation to you. Behind their back, they have it in their mind sometimes to go work a little obia or something of that nature in relation to you. And this is the reality of the world that we are living in today. You can be a good person, you can be a noble human being, you can be a loving and caring person in the society. But just because you're good doesn't mean that there won't be people out there who want to hinder your progress, want to hurt you. That is why I always emphasize the point of protective prayers. I always emphasize the point, and I tell you various methods of protecting yourself and to avoid certain negative entities and inauspicious works. How can you avoid those things? Because this is the world that we live in today. We live in a world today, and this is reality. We live in a world today where people can look so good. They can look so well in that physical form before you. But if you were to look at them internally, you would observe, you would see that their heart is rather black. The hatred, the envy that they have for others is so grand and so great. Some of these people hate you so much, they wouldn't mind going to someone to work a little ubia or whatever on you. That's how evil, that's how wicked, and that's how nasty people are in this world today. Right, so I'm giving you the reality of this world. Not everything in this world is this nice, flowery, poetic story and how the world is such a good place and everything. There are some good aspects of the world. There are some good people in this world. But so often we observe in this world the levels of evil that a person has. People in this world today, they do not know. They do not know the sacrifices you have made. They don't know the pain and the suffering you have endured to accumulate certain material gains in life. They don't know the sacrifice you have made to acquire the various things in life. But when they see you are in possession of material things, or you hold a status in the community, in the society, where people aspire to be like you, where people take you to be an example for their children, that's where people have jealousy and envy. But they don't know the struggles you have faced, the pain you have endured. Yet they are so willing to go to someone to hamper you, to impede you. That's why I will tell you something, my friends. In some cases when we see people suffering, some cases when we see people, they go through sickness and all of that. They go through a terminal sickness or whatever it may be. Sometimes they have done things in their life in relation to others, and they are facing the backlash of what they have done. So as we go back to our discourse for today, when we get back to our discourse more specifically, on the Amavasya, we perform prayers to Sangli Karupan Swami to protect us from any inauspicious force or anyone who wants to work a little obe or whatever on us. But also, on the Amavasya, for you to have the understanding, there's a little tradition that the individual will fast on the Amavasya and they will go to a holy river to take a dip in that river. But what is the reason why some perform this? Why do some fast and go to the waters during the Amavasya or for the Amavasya? They go there because it is believed that if you go on the Amavasya to take a dip in the holy waters, that it burns away your sins. It burns away some of your karma. So for you to have the understanding, on the Amavasya as well, you may perform this fast and you go to a river that's, within access. You dip yourself in that water and you ask that your sins, your karma be burned off. So it is also a day that is conducive, or a time period that is conducive to burn off some of your karma, burn off some of the wrong things you have done. And the reality is, all of us, at some point in time, whether it is in a previous life, whether it is in this present life, maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we have done something not exactly by the book. Maybe it was an error in judgment. Maybe your judgment was clouded at the moment and you act in a way that you regret. Or indirectly you cause harm to someone. No matter how spiritual you are, no matter how much prayers you conduct, everyone has done something in their past they're not happy about. Everyone has a baggage from their previous lives of things that they have done and they're not aware of. Things that we call bad karma. But you can change it. This is the point I want to drive home. You can change it. The Amavasya exists as well for you to begin changing it. You can fast and you can go into a holy water, a river. And you can beg and ask for forgiveness. That is a remedy that you can perform.
నరసింహని దివ్య నామ మంత్రము చేత దురిత జలములేన ధోలవచ్చు నరసింహని దివ్య నామ మంత్రము చేత బలువైన రోగముల్ ఆపవచ్చు.
I want to say pranam to Doris Diaram.
నామ మంత్రము చేత
I want to say pranam to Anjani Singh. I also want to say pranam and good morning to Basmati Ramsewak
నరసింహని
and Annie Morgan. I want to say pranam and good morning as well to Vidya Asha Devi. I want to say pranam to Dave Dunpal, Sandy Atwaru, Rabindra, Rita Albert, Ula Ramnarayan. If I have to miss your name or greeting, I do humbly apologize. I want you to know that I appreciate you tuning in. If I have to miss your greeting, please resend your greeting and I would love to air it.
నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ గోవింద గోవింద లక్ష్మీ నరసింహ భక్తవాత్సల వేణుగోపాల గోవింద గోవింద నరసింహ దేవ భక్తవాత్సల వేణుగోపాల గోవింద గోవింద శ్రీయాది పాండురంగ గోవింద గోవింద నరసింహదేవా శ్రీయాది నారాయణ శ్రీయాది పాండురంగ గోవింద గోవింద నరసింహదేవా నారాయణ నమ్మితి హరి గోవింద నారాయణ నమ్మితి 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 నారాయణ నమ్మితి హరి పాండురంగ నారాయణ నమ్మితి నారాయణ నమ్మితి హరి గోవింద నారాయణ నమ్మితి
अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय
The Sri Mahakali Durga Mandir, located at 9266 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village, New York,
पालय
would like to extend an invitation to all devotees to join them for
अम्बा पर
4 sessions of Devi Yajna
आदि पराशक्ति पालय
in honor of Pujari Kabardas Jitu's
मांडेश्वरी
70th birthday.
पालय
It will be from Wednesday,
मांडेश्वरी
April 9th
पालय
to Saturday, April 12th, 2025.
श्री भुवनेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी
Wednesday to Friday,
राजराजेश्वरी
6:30 p.m. to 9 p.m.
आनंद
Officiating Pandit will be Pandit Munilal Maharaj.
अखिलांडेश्वरी
On Saturday,
पराशक्ति पालय
9 a.m. to 12 p.m., Pandit Radesh Shawari will do the concluding ceremony.
स्वरूपिणी वीणा पानी
So once again, the Sri Mahakali Durga Mandir, located at 9266 Springfield Boulevard in Queens Village, New York, would like to extend an invitation to join them for 4 sessions of Devi Yajna in honor of Pujari Kabardas Jitu's 70th birthday. From April 9th to April 12th,
दायिनी
2025.
खदायिनी करुण स्वरूपिणी
For more information, please contact Pujari Kabardas Jitu at 917-929-7150. That's Pujari Kabardas Jitu at 917-929-7150 for more information.
कन्या कुमारिनी पालय पालय माम पालय माम पालय माम अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम श्री भुवनेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी श्री भुवनेश्वरी राजराजेश्वरी आनंद रूपिणी पालय माम आनंद रूपिणी पालय माम अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम वीणा पानी विमल स्वरूपिणी वीणा पानी विमल स्वरूपिणी वेदांत रूपिणी पालय माम वेदांत रूपिणी पालय माम अब अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम किमि खदायिनी करुण स्वरूपिणी किमि खदायिनी करुण स्वरूपिणी कन्याकुमारिनी पालय माम कन्याकुमारिनी पालय माम कन्याकुमारिनी 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 पालय माम अम्बा परमेश्वरी अखिलांडेश्वरी आदि पराशक्ति पालय माम
want to say Pranam to Sharon Ramrup. I want to say Pranam and good morning to Davy Ram as well. So there are various Amavasyas. And there are a few special Amavasyas, all of which carry certain spiritual benefits that one may that if the individual chooses, they may engage in and receive the benefits. For example, if the Amavasya falls on a Monday, it is called the Somavati Amavasya. And worship performed on the Somavati Amavasya relates to and helps the individual to relieve them of grief, sorrow, and diseases. On the Somavati Amavasya, married women do a vrat or a fast, and they pray, because it is believed that fasting and prayers done by a married woman on the Somavati Amavasya blesses that couple with a happy marriage life. Additionally, on the Somavati Amavasya, a married woman will worship the peepal tree. Why though? They worship the peepal tree so that their husband has a long life. It is for the husband's longevity. If the Amavasya falls on a Saturday, it is called a Shani Amavasya. And on a Shani Amavasya, individuals and devotees will do prayers for Lord Shani, asking him to reduce the ill effects of bad planetary positions, to free them from certain graha effects to the negative. Devotees also do offerings of black materials and black items for Lord Shani on the day of the Shani Amavasya to gain and receive his blessings. So those are two types of Amavasya and some of the specific benefits and specific worship that is performed on those days. And it all depends. What day does the Amavasya fall on? There are more specifics to and more details on how worship should be done, what worship should be done for, or even whom you should do worship for. But we're just simply trying to summarize things so that you have a understanding, a general understanding of the Amavasya. You know, one might ask the question, why should I as a Hindu devotee care? Why should I care to do worship on the Amavasya? Why should I care to do, tarpan on the Amavasya or offerings for my ancestors on the Amavasya? Why should I care? They are not the deity, right? This is the view that some people have in the Hindu community. Oh, they're not a deity. We shouldn't, hold them in such a high regard. Or some people have the view that, if you start, worship of the Amavasya for the ancestors, bad things will happen to you. Your daughter will die, your son will die. You're gonna get into an accident and etc. But you see, many do not have the understanding of the Amavasya. And many do not understand the obligations of being a Hindu. One of our obligations is for our ancestors. We have to pray for our ancestors. We have to express gratitude for our ancestors. Because it is through their actions, it is through their sacrifices, and indeed simply their existence, that we have come about into existence. So it is an obligation, and indeed it is just simply gratitude for our ancestors. Of course, we have Pitri Pash, which many celebrate, and many take part in offerings and worship. We're all aware of that and the extent of that. But this is for you to have the understanding that on a sort of monthly basis, there are days for you to perform the worship of the ancestors, for you to gain their blessings, and that is the Amavasya. When we speak about the power of the blessings of the ancestors, the ancestors have the ability to guide us. Sometimes when they see danger or something wrong is going to happen, sometimes the ancestors, it is their blessings that help to illuminate our own path, to indicate and suggest to us that there is danger ahead. Sometimes you wake up and for that particular day in question, you had plans of going somewhere, but you wake up one day, you wake up on that day, and you're wondering, why do I feel as though I shouldn't go there? What are the reasons why I feel so off today? I do not have the urge to go and fulfill the plans that I had to go out. Sometimes the ancestors work in those ways to give us these indications, to give us this intuition about what dangers might lie ahead. And sometimes you might hear that at a particular event, at that particular whatever, something bad had transpired. But because you did not attend, because you did not go, you were saved from that danger. So this can be the work of the ancestors as well, to help to illuminate our path. That's their intuition. The blessings that they give via our intuition. Why should you also do worship for the ancestors, for example on the Amavasya, or just in general? Sometimes, as we are all aware of, people do not do the proper Hindu funeral rites. or have not done the proper and the full, complete Hindu funeral rites. And this causes negative events in our own lives. It brings about certain negative events in our lives, or perhaps when it relates to our family or something of that nature. By doing worship of the ancestors, for example on the Amavasya, it helps to clear those things. It helps to remedy some of those negative afflictions. And the reality is, we can't know. We cannot know. If in the past, a funeral rite was not done correctly, we do not know. Or in some cases, we cannot know. But you're facing certain negative afflictions in your life. You observe that you're facing negative afflictions in your life. Sometimes we can remedy those afflictions by worshipping our ancestors and correcting those things from the past. So this is the power of the worship of the ancestors. And for you to have the understanding, it is said, and indeed it is proven, if you do your worship of the ancestors, every puja that you perform, whether you perform your Jandi, whether you do Kali puja, whatever puja you perform will be more powerful and more conducive. By worshipping the ancestors, fulfilling your duties, it opens the door up so that all these different pujas that you're doing throughout the year, for example, you have your Jandi, you do that, or you go to do Lord Shiva puja, or you do Mother Kali puja, or whatever puja it is you engage in. It makes the benefits of those pujas higher. It makes the benefits of those pujas more conducive. So we have to start from the ground up. You worship your ancestors, and then all the deities, all the devatas and everything, when you worship them, the benefits you derive are more great, are more significant. But this is what people don't know about. People will go throughout their whole lives. They never one day prayed for their ancestors on the Pitri Pash, or as I'm speaking about today, on the Amavasya. Yet they wonder, why is my life kind of like this? Why is it that I'm doing all this different puja, I'm doing Jandi every year and everything, and it doesn't look like the puja is having that effect? That the auspiciousness of that puja and the benefits of that puja, I'm not really seeing it. I'm not really manifesting it. Well, you have to start from your ancestors. You do a little bit of worship for your ancestors, everything else, all other pujas, will become more potent, will become more effectual in your life. I want to say pranam and good morning to Nitram Gunbutt. I want to say pranam and good morning to my dear friend Shani Singh. I additionally want to say pranam to Gayatri Narayan. Right after the song in glorification of Lord Shiva, we will speak about a short story as it relates to the Amavasya. And then we will bring this program to a close.
सपना दा रखवाला वो शिव जी डमरुआ वाला जी डमरुआ वाला ऊपर कैलाश रहिंदा भोलेनाथ जी धर्मिया जो तारदा शिव जी पापिया जो मारदा जी पापिया जो मारदा बड़ा ही दयाल मेरा भोले अमली
महादेवा तेरा डमरू डम 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 बजतो जाए रे हो महादेवा सर से तेरे बहती गंगा काम मेरा हो जाता चंगा नाम तेरा जब लेता ता ता महादेवा शंभो जय शंकर
मापिया दे करे वो गौरा मेला च रहिंदी जी मेला च रहिंदी बिच समसना रहिंदा भोलेनाथ जी मापिया दे करे वो गौरा मेला च रहिंदी जी मेला च रहिंदी बिच समसना रहिंदा भोलेनाथ जी
काले या कुंडला वाला मेरा बड़े बाबा किन्नर कैलासा तेरा डेरा हो जी सर पे तेरे वो गंगा मैया भी राजे मुकुट पे चंदा मामा हो जी
पंग जे पींदा वो शिव जी तूने रमांदा जी तूने रमांदा बड़ा ही तपारी मेरा भोले अमली पंग जे पींदा वो शिव जी तूने रमांदा जी तूने रमांदा बड़ा तपारी ओ मेरा भोले अमली
तेरा भोला है भंडारी करता नंदी की सवारी भोलेनाथ रे वो शंकर नाथ रे
As you know, in every show that I do, I like to share a story that helps to illuminate us about Hindu spirituality. And today is no different. Today's discourse has focused on the Amavasya, speaking about the risks, dangers, and the spiritual benefits of performing worship on the Amavasya. And many Hindus today, they are very aware of full moon puja, the benefits of full moon puja, but they have no understanding of the Amavasya, or even the understanding of the Amavasya that they do indeed have is just simply flawed or based on misconceptions. So as we have spoken about the power of praying on the Amavasya, how you should pray on the Amavasya. We have spoken about some of the benefits of worship on the Amavasya as it relates to, married women. Or indeed, Lord Shani's relationship to one type of the Amavasya. But this brings me to one particular story, and it brings me to one particular type of Amavasya. The Mahalaya Amavasya is an Amavasya that falls either in the month of September or October. And during this Amavasya, people perform worship of the departed souls. But here is the difference when it comes to this Amavasya. There's a difference because in the other Amavasyas, or as we know, we perform worship of our ancestors. That is, they are in the lineage of our family. They are great, great, great grandfather or parent or aunt or something of that nature. That is how we traditionally and commonly understand the Amavasya to be. For. But when it comes to the Mahalaya Amavasya, in September or October, depending how it falls, the worship of all departed souls can be performed. That is, we worship all the departed souls, whether they are related to you or not. And we ask to receive the benefits or whatever good they may confer. This is how that Amavasya is made for. So on the Mahalaya Amavasya, individuals do the worship of all departed souls. Regardless if they're related to you in your lineage or etc., you do the worship of all of them. To receive favorable blessings in your life. But this Mahalaya Amavasya has a relation to a story that speaks about a character called Karna. Karna was an individual who during his lifetime carried out so much acts of charity. He loved to give people rather than take. And his level of charity was admirable. People admired him as an individual who would love to give to others. That he was a generous individual. So for his life, he always gave and he gave to others. And he was a good person. When we speak morally, he was a good person in the society. But at the end of the road, something would happen to Karna. When Karna dies, the messengers of Yamraj come for him. And the messengers take him. They take him to the great beyond. But while Karna is there, Karna's soul is suffering. Karna has now become in that state of being a soul. But he is in the state of suffering now. He is in a state of hunger and in a state of thirst. And he is wondering why. Why am I in this position today? Throughout my life, I had lived morally good. I was a generous individual. I never gave to anyone with expectation, but rather I gave freely. But how is it that now I have departed this world and become a soul in that? And I'm here now, suffering within a state of hunger and thirst. There's not a single drop of food or water for me. How is this the case? Karna remarks. So he goes to Yamraj because he wants to know why. Why is he in this state of suffering? Despite being a good human being, why is his soul suffering? So he goes to Yamraj and he tells Yamraj what he is facing at the moment. How he is hungry, he has no food. He is thirsty and he has nothing to drink. But he was a good human being. Lord Yamraj turns to Karna and says, I'm well aware that you were a good human being. I'm well aware of your acts of charity. How you would give precious metals to people. But you failed, Karna. So Karna is now in the state of confusion. He's wondering, what is Yamraj even speaking about? I failed? What did I fail at? What is Yamraj speaking about now? Karna is in this state of confusion. So Lord Yamraj explains to him that you failed to meet your duties as a Hindu as it relates to your ancestors. Not one day in your whole life did you make an offering to your ancestors. You didn't offer a drop of water for your ancestors. Not a drop of food for your ancestors. So today, you are here in the great beyond, and you are starving and you are in the state of thirst. Karna pleads to Yamraj and tells Yamraj, I didn't know. I didn't know this was a part of my duty as a Hindu, part of my obligations. But he pleads and he pleads with Yamraj to bring him back to earth. For a period of approximately 14 days, he will do offerings for his ancestors. And at the end of the 14 days, he will be returned back to the great beyond in a better state. So Yamraj gives him this period of time. He goes back to earth, and for a period of 14 days, he performs the various offerings to his ancestors, the tarpan and indeed vegetarian meals. His soul is relieved of the suffering it was facing. But what is the point of this story? And how does this fit back to our discourse about the Amavasya, which is a type of formation of the moon that we worship our ancestors? What's the point of me saying all of this? The point I want to drive home to you today is, as a Hindu, you have to meet your obligations and worship your ancestors. Whether you choose to worship them during the time of the Pitri Pash, or you choose to worship them on the Amavasya, you have to worship your ancestors because it is a part of your obligations. And for your soul to be elevated which ideally you want. For your soul not to suffer like Karna soul suffered. You need to offer tarpan. You need to offer vegetarian meals during these periods of time. And you need to pray for the blessings of your ancestors. The point I wish to drive home today is worship of the Devi, worship of the Devatas is great. But you need to start at the first place at the ancestors. Because if you do not perform the worship of the ancestors, all else fails. All puja you do is not as conducive as it can be. You can do Jandi and Jandi after Jandi, and you don't have that component of the ancestors' worship. Your Jandi is not as conducive in its power as it should be. And for you on a personal level, I want to tell you this today. Many people that I meet today, and many people that I am aware of today, they think that worshipping the ancestors is obia. They think that it's evil worship. They think it's no good. That is why they do not perform it. They are Hindus, and they want to create this image of themselves as Hindus. But they don't do ancestor worship. They don't worship during the Pitri Pash time, or alternatively during the Amavasya. But what will happen to them? What will happen to them when their time on this earth comes to a close? Their soul will be trapped in that state. And they will be in a constant state of suffering. So I want to leave you with this message. Contrary to what many people say and what many people are performing, you need to worship your ancestors. Whether you worship them during the Pitri Pash, or you would choose to worship them during the Amavasya. Worship of the ancestors is important. Because without the worship of our ancestors, all else will fail. All else doesn't bear good results. And our soul will suffer the most. So that's the point I want to drive home today. Before I leave, I want to say pranam and blessings to Wendy Takardeen and the entire Takardeen family. I want to say pranam as well to Rita Albert. So in closing, my friends, I love each and every one of you. And until we meet again, my friends, may the divinities bless each and every one of you in a profound way. And indeed, as I close this program today, I hope that you have gained a full understanding of the Amavasya. What worship should be done. And now you understand that contrary to what most people say, the Amavasya is a favorable period of time. It is not something you should fear, but something you should use in terms of your spiritual life to elevate yourself, to aid yourself in life. This is Justin D. Anthony. Until we meet again, my friends, have a blessed weekend ahead.